So I posted a poll in the community section of my YouTube channel asking which anime you guys would like me to review, and the top one was Jujutsu Kaisen. I did misspell it. But I was kind of hoping it wasn't going to be Jujutsu Kaisen because I have some weird thoughts on this, and obviously the series isn't over yet, so maybe my thoughts will change, but as it stands right now, these are kind of my initial thoughts on Jujutsu Kaisen. So I started watching Jujutsu Kaisen because of a recommendation / pestering from a coworker, and I started watching, and it's interesting. It's definitely got a more unique story than most. You've got a main character, in this case Itadori, at least I believe that's his name. Yes, Itadori. He is the main character. He ate a finger that was cursed, and he is now tasked with eating a bunch more. And then he's going to get killed. Okay, good start. Yeah, so this show definitely kind of throws you right in because the very first episode shows Itadori sitting in front of Goju and being told that he's going to get executed. So right off the bat, we know that things aren't going well for our protagonist. That's a good way to start it off. However, once we get past that initial opening, we see what led to those circumstances, and then the story kind of moves out from there. And it's weird, because the first episode focuses primarily around death and the meaning of life and living for something and surrounding yourself with people who will care about you through life and death. And that seems to be one of the sort of driving themes and one of the driving motivations for Itadori. And also the fact that he's just insanely strong. He, baseball pitched a weighted ball, which was kind of crazy. So powerful protagonist and the meaning of life and death. Okay. Now, alongside those themes in the first episode, we also have the Paranormal Activity Club, or whatever they were called. And this is where we start to get into what caused the finger curse fiasco in the first place. And we're introduced to Jujutsu sorcerers. One of which, the dog guy, whose name I don't remember, is tasked with getting this special cursed object. If the flow of my review here seems a little off, you'll know why in a minute, but just bear with me. So the occult club gets the cursed finger, they break the seal, and things go extremely south. Jujutsu sorcerer dog guy steps in. I'm going to look up his name. Megumi steps in, and of course Itadori also steps in to assist because these are his friends. And as a result, he eats the finger, and now he's got powers and a curse and somebody else living inside of him. We're also introduced to Goju, easily the best character in the series, and we see how powerful he actually is in a scene that, if I am reading this correctly, is animated by Yutaka Nakamura, one of my favorite animators of all time. Pretty awesome. And of course, after all this action in the first episode, we are back to where we began, like I said. And from there, we know now that Itadori is a part of the Jujutsu school in Tokyo, and well, this is where our sort of journey begins to collect all the fingers and then execute Itadori. Now, like I said, my flow for this review seems kind of weird because I really struggled in writing this review because as much as I've been watching this series, nothing's really sinking in, and I had to kind of sit back and think about why. And I've still not found an exact answer as to why this show has not set in. Things like names for characters, which I admittedly am weak at remembering. It took me forever to remember even half the class members in Assassination Classroom, and I'm struggling to remember more than Goju, Itadori, and Panda. You got Dog Guy and Crazy Chick with the Hammer, and some others like the Doll Guy. So it's not something that's setting in for some reason. And the action is great. The story seems interesting. This is part of why I was hoping that my poll was not going to put Jujutsu Kaisen at the top, because I struggled to think of good or bad things to say about it, because the show's not boring by any stretch of the imagination. And by all accounts of what the show has in it, and the action, and the animation, and the story, and the music, it should be right up my alley, but it's just not sitting for some reason. And I'm struggling to think of why. And I don't want to give this a bad review, because I think that the show, for a lot of people, clearly is a popular show, and I think that the potential of the show is great. But something about it that perhaps I'll have to come up with in a different video, or when it clicks, I'll make a post. Something about it just isn't really setting with me. I'm not clinging to this show like others. You know, you've got shows like Fairy Tail where I clung to it because of the whimsical characters, the art style, the music, and the fantasy world. Assassination Classroom was interesting because of its comedy and end goal. You have Death Note. I have to explain why Death Note is good. There are so many things about different shows that I can very easily quantify as to why I like them. And there's also shows that I can easily quantify why I don't like them. SAO, tentacle porn and loving your cousin. Pretty simple. So, this review is going to be short, and it's not really a review. But I have to sort of get my thoughts out, which is that the show's good. Do not get me wrong. And I think that the animation, the story, the music, the characters, all of it is great. But there has not been anything for me personally as a viewer to latch me on to a specific character other than Goju. Goju's great, and his abilities and powers are awesome, and his eyes are beautiful, and he's probably the reason why I keep coming back that I can quantify, but that's it. There's nothing else to really make me want to come back consciously, but something keeps bringing me back. So for those of you wondering whether or not you should watch Jujutsu Kaisen, and you're watching this review, sorry that it's not really a review, but also go watch it. Do what I did. Go after it, even if you're kind of hesitant, and maybe you'll also catch that bug of watching it but not really knowing why, and maybe you will also enjoy it. I'm not saying I don't enjoy it. It's just not clinging to me, and I don't know why. So again, like I said, sorry that this review's a little weird. Sorry that this review isn't really a review. We have more episodes, so we don't have to worry about that. Hopefully, within these upcoming episodes, I will either find something to latch onto and give a quantifiable, this is why I like the show, or I'll at least have a little bit more of a descriptive reason as to why the show is something I keep watching, even though it's not something that I seem too particularly interested in. Who knows? Like I said, we've got more episodes, so we'll see what happens. But either way, guys, that's been it. Sorry again for this weird review. But hey, it is the 17th when this video is going live, which means you only have about a week and a half left to post your submissions to the merch contest section of my Discord. If you guys don't know, I'm holding a merch contest, so go down in the description, check it out. There's a video over there where you can check out the rules, or just read the rules in the Discord. And otherwise, that's been it. Make sure to like and subscribe, leave a comment letting me know what you guys think. Give me your reasons why you like this show if you do, or why you don't like this show if you don't like it. Otherwise, a like is appreciated. I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure to be there and have a good one.